Hey everyone, welcome. We are going to draft Premier today. We've done a couple of best of threes lately and did pretty well on them. Chat split again on the vote, giving me the tiebreaker. And I opted for Premier because not only have we drafted a bunch of best of three so far this week, but after this draft and some filler time in a few hours, I'm going to be playing in a best of three M21 Streamer Showdown draft. So I figured I would break the tie towards Premier since we are guaranteed a traditional style draft later on today against some of the best competition I've ever faced. I think maybe this is the best pod I've ever participated in. So here's who I'm battling today. Gimli, these are the streamers I'm battling. XX Gimli XX, Mike Sigrist, Jamie Topples, MTG Nerd Girl, Raph Levy, myself, the Ham TV, and Just Lola Man. This is some good drafters here. I'm quite honored to be invited and to have made it to the finals and earned my spot in this pantheon of greatness. Well, some of it. We're going to see what we can do. Anything can happen. I'm not going to suggest I can go toe-to-toe daily with Mike Sigrist and Raph Levy, but you know what? Any given Sunday, any given day, the cards can break our way. We can do our absolute best with our brains and our cards and find a way. So that's what we're going to try to do later on today against some excellent competition, and what we're about to start doing here against random competition we find on the internet. Before we do, though, if you really want to crush your opponents, go to cardkingdom.com for all your tabletop needs. They'll help you crush. They've got incredible inventory, great prices. If you're ever looking to sell cards, check their buy list. One of the best buy lists in the industry, and they give 30% store credit on those sells. So if you want to turn your cards into different cards, check out the buy list, get some credit with Card Kingdom, and then when you feel like it, you just get to tap into it and send that bling over your way. They have most cards. Obviously, Magic rises and falls. Cards come and go in popularity, and when a card spikes in popularity, everybody sells out, right? Because some card that was $2 is now a thing. Everybody scoops it up for $2 and it's gone. And now it's a $5 to $10 card or whatever. And even Card Kingdom runs out of it in that instance. But they are one of the most aggressive at reacquiring that inventory when that kind of thing happens. So they're going to, in fact, I've said before, if you see a card spike and you have it and don't want it, check Card Kingdom, because they probably got bought out and they probably want more. So it's a good way to kind of keep your finger on the pulse. And when you notice that kind of thing, you can take advantage of it yourself. So, thank you, Card Kingdom. Let's see what the draft has for us today. 1,500 gems, getting the draft view here. Sure thing, Tron. Yeah. And I would shop around, though. I bet you that Card Kingdom will have among the top prices for that card. But for a card of that value, yeah, check around and actually get back to us. I'm curious if they do end up being the best option out there. What's the best option in here? We've got a Waker of the Waves. Fun times. We had success with this yesterday. Had a couple of these in a splashed reanimation package in our blue-green deck. Scorching Dragonfire, easily the best mono red card in the pack. This Leaf Avenger is pretty good. Turret Ogre is likely to wheel. My inclination is to start with the Dragonfire. Best color, removal. It does the job of interacting early. Riddle Form is an interesting early build around, John. If you went for this, I wouldn't blame you. This is fun. But I think this is just too generically good and too generically what this format is about. There's a lot of 4-power stuff or 4 mana stuff that can be killed for 3 damage, and there's it also crucially interacts on turn 2 with your opponent's aggression. Let's burn the creature out from under that stupid dub, right? And here we have another one. We can just keep going on that path. We got the Swooper Adept is okay, but nothing. I like the Savior a lot. but there's no reason to do anything but take another Dragonfire here. And there's a rare missing. We don't know much about what's going on in this pack. What do we if we wheel the Avenger? I don't even know what the Avenger was, and I forget what the Avenger was. I don't know all the card names in the set yet, so I don't know what you're thinking about wheeling, but we'll keep an eye out. I'm curious to see. So this is so I'm curious at our pick 10, because this will be our pick 10. What of these white cards are left? If any of these white cards are left at pick 10, then that's somewhat of a Boros-y sign. And I'm also curious about this Slag and this Greed. So let's keep an eye. Let's remember pick 10 and the red and white that's in here especially. Temple of Triumph is playable gems here, but is there anything better? Wow, maybe we take playable gems. I mean, we take a Dreadmaw or a Quattle in case we get kind of railroaded back in this direction. I'm with you, Hat. Sometimes there's objectionable words that I'm like, I don't want to learn why this is objectionable, I think. Yeah, Crash Through is okay, but I can't bring myself here. Like, I'd rather just take the playable gems in that spot. And Crash Through, yeah, I guess we could just cut red. Certainly if we take Crash Through, we're like locking red out of the downstream. I don't know what's been taken upstream, but we did get past a Dragonfire, although it was out of a pack that was rare was taken. Tron just likes the Temple. I get it, Tron. This is more signally. This is where I was landing. I think I'm with Tron. I'm going to take the Temple. Maybe we can wheel the Crash Through. It's it is doing better work in this format than most, but I still like the Temple there. And then we get this signal. And it goes with the Temple. Here's another Crash Through, Hobble Fiend. Lots of red here, so we're not going to like successfully cut red, but obviously we're not going to like just stick to our red guns just to be mono red for, you know, quote, stay open. You stay open to take things like this that come your way. Yeah, I'm with you, Tron. It's higher than it has been, and in a lot of decks you'll run, in some specific decks, you'll run as many of these as you can get. If you care about instants and sorceries in the graveyard or casting them, Crash Through is excellent, but we're not really doing that yet, and Acolyte is a pivot towards, not a pivot, is a signal to head towards the different direction, although nothing really here leaping out to support the direction we're going in, but nothing particularly amazing either. We could take a Blossoming Sands to have an splashable tap land. Golem is a random... Oh, sorry, I thought this was the 4-drop. I don't want that at all. I guess we take a Defiant Strike. Or, yeah, we could take Rise Again. Feels like we're a little farther away from this than I'm comfortable with. I would rather just cut the only white card in this pack. And I'm a little nervous about the signals we're getting from the right. Like, if we're in the wrong lane here, we might get rewarded in pack 2, but then crushed in 3. Yes, if you were if you're gem conscious, you can just take See the Truth. In fact, you know, with Defiant Strike being pretty medium, I think it's pretty good good modeling to take the gems here. We don't need it on this account because we're pretty gem independent, but that is classically a spot where I strongly encourage people to be taking gems if you're the type of player who ends up 4xing a set, because that's just going to be 20 gems for you later, which is going to be better value than a random little Sure Strike or whatever is going to be. Yeah, this is some decent blue left. We could even take some in case we drop the Acolyte and end up in red-blue spells. We could also just take the Ogre. But, yeah, I guess if we're red-blue spells, we probably want a Larcenist, clear the way. But we'll see. I would rather be red-white, but given the Acolyte, but if the packs are going to force us towards red-blue, I'm not gonna fight it. I don't like prioritizing the Unicorn. I've played it, Tron, and I'll play it when it ends up in the pile, but I just don't find myself prioritizing putting it in the pile. Here's a Defiant Strike we can take. We note the green. This isn't a sign or anything, but Training is good, Malkin is good, Truffle Snout is good, or playable. They're all playable, so a lot of playable green here that's worth taking a note of, but also nothing here that I would pivot away from this Defiant Strike for. Calls for the... Burn Bright, I don't agree, James. I haven't seen this do a lot of work. Yeah, I'd rather take the dual land on the splash or just the Defiant Strike. Yeah, we could take the cat. Like, none of this pick is really weird. It's kind of a hedge pick there. I don't care about Defiant Strike that much, and we only have one white card, so I'm not like prioritizing that. Here we could take this Crash Through. Empath, not even getting anything right now. Yeah, these packs have not been great. Let's take the Crash Through now and see what else comes. Okay. This is the only other red card in the pack, so that's great to see. The Leafkin Avenger still being here means we're going to grab that. And now we may be red green. So let's try and listen. We certainly know that green looks wide open, so we might just have to listen to the table here and go red green. And I was talking about how I wanted to see what this pack told us. Remember, there was 3 good white cards and a slag, turn to slag. So there were 4 red and white cards that we were interested in this pack, and all of them are gone. So, so I think with best of 1, we take a Titanic Growth here and expect that we may be red-green. Crash Through comes back. I was hoping this would wheel. That's good to see. It says a lot about our, because I was worried that we were getting cut on red from the right. If we were getting cut from red on the right, this Crash Through wouldn't be here. It was the only red card left. So this is where we took the Temple over the Crash Through. Yeah, we could take the land here as well. I was going to switch to the land at the last minute, but here you go. Look, we found our lane, everybody. We found our lane. I just don't know how much we're crashing through, but I don't know how much we want to grow titanically either. Crash Through seems decent in red-green. Trample on this stuff is all right. I think I'll take another one. Base green with Acolyte. Snare Spinner. Snare Spinner's playable at 2. Maybe I should just take that. But if we end up base green, suddenly splashing third colors becomes a lot more viable. So I was tempted by that land, but as Tron says, need twos. Let's not mess around. And I think we're off of this. I'll leave the Acolyte just in case. Well, rewarded for finding our lane. We get a pretty nice rare, as I recall. I know it's got a fine floor. Yep, 3/3 for 3 as a floor. Has first strike on our turn. We can look at the top card of our library any time and play lands from the top card of our library. And for 6 mana, pump XX, where X is the number of lands we control. So, what are we hoping to wheel? This wheeled the first time. Hopefully it wheels again. Uprising would not be a bad wheel either, but I expect there's people in green who might take this. But clear Rada for us. Shock backing up Rada I like a little more than the Visionary. Right now we're not really ramping to anything anyway. And again, having interaction for Oppo's early stuff is so valuable. We do have 2 Scorching Dragonfires. You can make the case that we've got that covered and could actually use this more. What do you think? Maybe I'll pull this. Quick pull. I only got like 15 seconds, but Leaf... Oh, sorry. Shock. Now it's like 10 seconds. Shock or Elf. There we go. It's got to be Visionary or Shock. Curious what you think. You can make an argument for Sniper, I suppose, but I haven't been very impressed with this, honestly. Huh. 11 on the Elf. A lot of people want the Elf. Okay. I'm in. This was a close one for me, and it's if we didn't have 2 Dragonfires, I'd say y'all were nuts, but we do have some removal, so we can pass the Shock here. Hunter's Edge, speaking of removal, is kind of where we want to be with that. Maybe we can wheel a Cur. Invigorating Surge is a decent trick as well. But, I mean, kind of the point of this is to be a combat trick and kill things. This kills things a little more directly. Yeah, I would play Surge. I just think what's the job of Surge? It's to win combat and use 3 mana and a card to kill an opponent's creature, right? But Hunter's Edge is a little simpler in that task. I'm leaving Acolyte in. Yeah, it's basically gone. We can accept that fate. Kind of like a training in that if we find some of the 3/3 2-drop dinos, this becomes good with those. You can get it up to 4. Fungal Rebirth is an uncommon, and that kind of leaps out a little bit. But I actually think I like training for the possible work with that 3/3 dino than I do kind of randomly getting a permanent back. Yeah, maybe Haj. I think Haj is calling this underrated. I think the fail case of just getting a permanent back isn't even the absolute worst. It's not great. But anyway, training's still more straightforwardly good for what we're up to here. We just want to find our sweet, sweet 2-drop 3/3 to get this training going on. Yeah, this seems like Dreadmaw to me. Especially, we do have Leafkin Avenger and now Llanowar Visionary, so let's ramp to something. Another training. There's a Cultivate that could set us up for 3rd colors. You know, we got avenue to some white, but we do have another training. Just get another training. How many of these crash throughs are we going to play? We're just like all cycling 1 and 2 mana stuff. You like the Cultivate. That's true. Rado likes a ramp, likes some land. All right, I'll spec on Cultivate. We might not play this, and Haj I think is thinking like we would play a training. We might not even need a Cultivate, but I think it's fair to hedge to the Cultivate there. In terms of how we're hedging, our best hedge is towards white, given the Temple. Vine here over nothing else. Yeah, I take Vault Pick, but Vine is just playable enough that I would take it over Vault Progress. Yeah, I like Vine, hope to cut it over Vault Progress. Here's another Hunter's Edge. Really getting our removal taken care of. And I like a Jungle Hollow over Burn Bright. I don't like Burn Bright in green. Red doesn't feel like it's what you want to be doing, but Hollow is possible. Possible play. I don't want another Titanic Growth either. And so then if we can take Twin Blade Assassins on the Hollow Splash. I don't know if that's worth it. We have the Cultivate to help with it too. Huh, you like the Unleash Fury? I'm way on show me I should play that card. I think I'll just take the Sniper over the... I don't think we'll splash that particular creature. Doesn't seem good enough for splashing. I also don't think we're Furying, but I'll take it. Yeah, maybe I just don't know how to use the Fury yet. Blossoming Sands continues towards possible splashes. Megalodon. Burn Bright. Nothing here. All right. Big pack 3. Here we go. Let's turn this deck into a monster. Well, we got a on-color rare, but it's not really for us. We have a Mentor we could grab on the splash. Really lousy pack for red-green anyway. If you are not gem independent, I would slam the Transmogrify for gems. But we could take a track down, but Conclave Mentor is possibly splashable. We have Temple of Triumph, Blossoming Sands, and Cultivate, so it's not difficult to splash. The question is, are we doing enough with +1/+1 counters to bother? This one to be an instant? That'd be certainly a lot better, right? So if you are not gem independent, I would be taking the rare for gems. In our case, we can hedge on the possibility of this Mentor being something we want, but I'm not counting on it. We have a Feline Sovereign and a Shock. What are we doing with kitties and dogs here? One kitty. And that's like it. One kitty. Well, this isn't good enough for abandoning everything, right? We probably just want to shock. But man, this is tough. I think shock might be the grown-up picks. Grown-up pick. Yeah, I'm going to take the grown-up pick. Feline Sovereign is not there for us. Now we're going to just get non-stop kitties or whatever, but I think white-green is your place for the Feline Sovereign. Sanctum doesn't look like much, but it is ramp and fixing if we wanted to do it. We can also just take a Rugged Highlands to help our mana. And what are we missing? Just a track down or this Sanctum? This Cur. Yeah, if nobody's in red-green, we probably wheel the land. Let's take the Cur, make sure we get hit our creatures. I looked at the Truffle Snout, but I think I'd rather have the Sky Scanner. Maybe we can get a counter on this and it can do some air defense or something. I just like 3-mana replace itself better than 3-mana toolbox. East likes the Truffle Snout. Anybody else have opinions on which 3 looks better for us? Hodge doesn't like anything in this pack. I think I'd play a Sky Scanner. I don't know. A lot of people want the Piggy. All right, I'll take the... Rob's with me on the scanner, but most people wanted the Piggy, so I'll follow along. That's fine with me. Burl Fist. Not amazing, but we'll take it here. Maybe wheel the Destructive Tampering, although I don't think we need Destructive Tampering. We have a bunch of Crash Throughs, which are kind of our reach. Yeah, Snuff has the counter theme. I don't know if we're going to play the Mentor, though. I don't think it matters that much. We do have 3 Crash Throughs for Burlfist, so drawing your card naturally for the turn and then crashing through means attacking with a 6/7 trample. I don't hate that. Here we have a Scourge that could convince us to play the Conclave Mentor. We also have a Kitty. We also have a Hunter's Edge. I'm not worried. Track down I'm pretty down on, Rob. Yeah, it draws, but it's not what I want to do on 2. Yeah, let's just take the edge. I think we're going to be in a great spot if we got all this shock, 2 Dragonfires, and 3 edges. We're going to be in great shape on removal and really just hopefully be able to get through our creatures. Get our creatures through, I mean. Meteorite. Well, we listened to the table, which was obviously uninterested in green. We could take land. I don't see any blue we're splashing. So I don't see the land being worth it. Wow, another Mentor, a splash for the white, Dreadmont, and another chance at Scourge. Help! Chad, I've got 10 seconds. What do I do? Oh my god. I think we just want another Dreadmaw. It's boring, but yeah, I think we are playing 3 Hunter's Edge. And here we go. The table respects the track down about as much as me, which is to say it's not unplayable. I'm just not going to prioritize it early like that. You want the Ogre here? Maybe I do take the Ogre. Yeah, I guess Ogre is that. Yeah, Rob wants the track down, but I'm actually into the Ogre. Sorry, Rob. We'll get the next one. We need big creatures, and yes, if we're hoping to remove our opponent's stuff, then Ogre gets a lot better. Rob, why are you so high on track down? It's not amazing. It's not bad. I like it. I'll play it if we get one, I think, but I just don't care about it that much. Here's one. We'll take it. We'll play it, but maybe we'll play it. We might even cut it. That's what I'm saying. And again, we're not really doing anything here. I'm not doing that. I guess we'll take the creature. Wow, late Pride Malkin. We'll take it and run it. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Ponder is 1 mana, Rob. Ponder is 1 mana. And let me tell you, if don't underrate that. I think you're like to sell it as green Ponder is to completely underrate 1 mana versus 2 mana. Did you all know that 2 is twice 1? Twice. So, but what I really mean about that, Rob, is that at 1 mana, you can excuse a lot of cantrips and cycling type cards because you can slot them in on 1. You can literally play them on turn 1. Or you can play it on turn 3 and play that 2-drop and slot in the 1. I think really it's, and I'm sorry for being snarky about it. I'm just trying to be serious. That 1 to 2 mana difference I think is huge. I think it's massive because I want to be doing board impacting stuff on 2 mana, and it would really make me sad if Track Down were our only 2 mana play. Whereas if Track Down's in our opener on 1, we can do it on 1 and find our 2 mana play or whatever. Anyway, so like Ponder is just so much better than Track Down at 1. So that's my thinking. I get you. It does. I'm liking it with Burlfist Oak and everything, but that's why I'm not as high on it as you are. That being said, I'm not even remotely calling it like unplayable or anything. We're not splashing, so let's cut the Mentor and the Cultivate and everything related to splashing. We'll play a half-color Temple for the Scry. Yeah, we can cut the Vine. Good call. I think we can cut the Sniper. That doesn't do much. And maybe 1 Crash Through and we have a deck. Anything else here that we just actively don't like? I think this is our deck. Do we want Cultivate with this curve? No. Timber Channel says, do we want Cultivate? Yeah, I would actually... Combat tricks are good in the format. And here's my problem with the naked Cultivate. What's the best case scenario for this deck with Cultivate? I mean, obviously, like the best case is on 3 mana, we only have forests, and we cast Cultivate. We find our mountain, 2 mountains, and it allows us to cast a Dreadmaw on turn 5. Right? That's the big payoff with Cultivate, is that if we have it in our opener, we get a Dreadmaw on turn 5. If that happens, we have paid 3 mana and a full card. 3 mana and a card to get this Dreadmaw out early. Now, this card does replace itself with 2 lands. It's not like it doesn't get other cards, but they're lands, so they're necessary, but not ultimately impactful as like drawing a random card. Yeah, there's some combo with Rada, but I just really want to drive home. I think people think of things like Cultivate and the green shrine, or that a land aura that allows the land to tap for an extra color and puts a counter or gains some life or something. Those can be very appealing cards, but I just want people to remember that when you run them, if the only thing they do is help you get 1 extra thing out a little bit early, you're effectively turning your gigantic beast into a ready-made 2-for-1. Because if your opponent kills it, they have taken out with 1 card your Dreadmaw and your Cultivate effectively. So, yeah. And also, 6s are just so easily castable. If we were going for 7s or 8s, then you have a nice argument for Cultivate. But in that case, we also have Leafkin Avenger and Visionary in the deck as well. So we're ramping anyway. We're doing a lot of cycling. You could actually argue that this is a 16-land deck, given 2 Crash Throughs, a Track Down, Llanowar Visionary, and Leafkin Avenger. There is a lot of mana here. The thing is, I'm not even sure, like, maybe you could go, like, Crash Through number 3 and cut a land. And that wouldn't suck. But I guess with Rada not accepting a little bit of Flood, we can run this. Yeah, Rada is a good fail case for your Flood. And let's see, anybody... I don't know if anybody bought any bling today, but I will get some nicer lands if someone wants to choose which. Maybe I'll choose some different, but not the best land. So if you want like the best land, somebody has to step up. Go with, this one looks cool. This is Avon. Yeah, here's some alternate Avons. All right, we'll show the sleeve options. Showing this for sleeve choices. Reading, what do you think? I'm going to choose for you. I'm going to put it on Soul Ring for now, but Breeden, you can change to whatever. And what are we naming this? EC. You can if you tell me what ECP stands for. This was a hard way draft for sure. So maybe hard, and we have hard. We have 3 crash throughs, so I'm gonna call this hard crash. And if nobody, is there a not operator in research? Well, let's see. They've got a nice tool to show us for advanced search. Does not equal, exclamation point equal is your, oh, that's a numerical thing though. It doesn't look like a not, I don't see a not text. Hard edge is good. We have 3 edges. I like it. Hard edge is good. We'll change it to edge because it's a better card in the deck. Okie doke. Well, we got creatures, we got removal. I like it. Some bottom end stuff that I don't love, but even Titanic Growth is solid in this format. Combat happens. Tapped out combat happens. Oh, James learns they are officially exposed to, okay, thanks. Exposed to COVID, scary. I wonder how many of us have had COVID and don't even know it. I might have. My son went to a concert before the shutdown. Maybe he brought something home and all of us in the house got it asymptomatically and never even knew. I mean, you just don't even know because we don't test enough. All right, James, good luck. Yeah, I remember I had a light fever once in the last 4 months. It maybe it was COVID, I don't know, but you're not supposed to get a test just because you had a light fever. I had it for like 4 hours and then it was gone. Negative thoughts for James, you got it. All right. Battlefield right. Jumping in. And we'll update everything here. Let me do a par poll. If we played this out 1,000,000 times, what would my average win count be? I think Hat made that poll for me. I like his confidence that no deck of mine is ever going to be so bad that you don't think that I average 2 wins. This is free to play. Yeah, too bad we didn't get any of the Pteranodons, right? But I like this deck. Yeah, this looks great. I'm going to telegraph the shock because in this format there are things that we would shock on turn 1. Doggy. Oh, wow. Check it out. Well, I'm going to wait on Rada because they have potential 3 damage mana up here. Yeah, we just throw out the Pride Malkin. We get to make the curve bigger. And if they're going to throw some fire around, we make them choose here. Well, if we're going to play Pride Malkin, we want to do this first. We could also do Ogre. Actually, I'm going to do Ogre over Pride Malkin. We'll attack with a doggy because they have open mana. They might just shoot the dog down right here. And there was pausing, so let's keep that in mind. I'm going to offer him the Ogre, and I think they're going to take it. They're going to, I mean, which is to say they're going to kill it. You're safe, Rada, don't worry. Well, thank your daughter for us. I hope, I mean, here's the thing, Mama. And it's made me, like, I have a son who's working in food service, and it's really nerve-wracking to know that he's out there getting greater risk of exposure every day. But the data on the efficacy of masks is so great. It's so great that I'm less worried because now his business forces all customers to wear masks, and they all wear masks. We can get there on masks alone, basically, people. All we have to do is just, as a group, decide that masks are going to get us there, and we could beat this thing. Yeah, we're going to play Oak on the Oak draw, and then next turn we have a lot of different things we can leave up. Although, we're choked on red, so there's good reasons to want to do red things, like pay Pride Malkin hold up Shock, but Burl Fist is too good. Let's do this. I could have attacked first. I don't think they would have traded, but I didn't want to use my turn on a Cur pump, so I didn't even risk it. Turns out it's a good card. Now we got some work to do. Double Kitty. Although here, yeah, I'm going to go Kitty so that we can have Shock. And Rada will bring down later. Could even trade Kitty and Shock for the Snout here. I think I would do that. Let's see what they come up with, though. A little nerve-wracking to make the block in a bunch of open mana, though. So, I don't know. I'm gonna take it. We're somewhat in a raceable situation here. I want to see what they come up with before I make that. Okay, Terror of the Peaks, only one of the better cards in the format. Now at 4 mana, like, we need too many things. This is doom. But whatever. I mean, losing to this is no shame. Hunter's Edge is exactly what we needed. It's not good enough yet, but it could be. Any target. So now we've got to bring out the Pride Malkin, make the Cur 4 toughness, and hope that it doesn't get killed. Yeah, that's true. We can attack, and if they block, we're super happy, right? So let's start there. Rada can do it, but not this turn. Yeah, I still don't want to put Rada at risk, I guess. But Rada does do it naturally. I was just going to go Kitty on the Cur. Yeah, Kitty back for the double block may have been correct. But I think we do this. We still have the Shock, and if the Cur survives, it can fight the Terror next turn. These kitties are being awfully nice to that dog. Yeah, I could have spread it around. That's true. If I had, but then it just moves the necessary thing to the other cat, right? Like, we need something at 3 power to become 4. And if I move this counter over here, we have just a different thing at 3 power. Hey, we had an option for one of those. Declined. I'm going to go ahead and shock Dryad. Not completely game, right? Oh, right. I can't because of the damage. Yeah. All right. Well, we lost to a Mythic. Mythic, best card in the set, Mythic. Oh, well. Some losses tilt me. Some are like reminding me of game design principles, like make sure there are extremely powerful cards at Mythic that can help lesser players beat better players. And I'm not even saying Oppo is lesser than me. I'm saying that's the philosophy of, part of the philosophy of powerful cards like that. Yeah, on-curve Mythic, tough to beat. It's up there, right? It's in the discussion, I don't even know. James, I'm expressing my sense of current conventional wisdom. I'm not actually making a claim myself. Yeah, it doesn't matter if Oppo is a newer player or not, which is why it's a great tool for the newer player, right? It's a way that someone who's been playing Magic for a month and a half can feel great about beating a many-year veteran. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can dodge a bomb of that caliber and notch a win here. All right, a little bit mana heavy and 0 creatures for 3 spells that all require creatures. However, with the Scry and both of our colors, I am going to risk it. I don't know if anybody would throw this back due to the lack of the obvious ways in which this hand is lacking. But our deck is mostly creatures. It's the thing we're likely to draw, and we get a Scry off the temple. I certainly would not even consider keeping this without the Scry, but the Scry is quite good here. It really does give us an extra draw. So I'm going to keep narrowly, and if you mulligan, I don't blame you, but I'm only going to keep because of this Scry. I want to be clear about that. A full extra draw to sort out this hand is huge. Well, that's interesting. I mean, this is a tough one to see. It is a creature, but we give up our next draw for this. So our draw is this. We don't draw. We play a land, and then we're top decking to do something before 4. So the point was to find something to do early. So sadly, I'm going to have to bottom the Burl Fist because it's not doing. The whole point of this is that we're trying to find early action, and that I felt it's reliable enough to find the early action with the Scry, but I have to, in order for that to be reliable, I actually have to do the thing, which is Scry the not early action to the bottom. Are we that low on creatures? Well, we could get crash throughs. Yeah, maybe this was a mistake because I'm unaware of how few creatures we actually have. I didn't honestly look at our creature count. Well, 2 creatures from Oppo that I'm not super impressed with that hopefully give us time to land. All right, we'll take it. This kitty is usually to do other things, but super happy, obviously, to come through on a 2 or 3 drop creature here. They've got a shock, though. Oh, no, wait, this activates? Yeah, they got a shock. They're going to shock this Pride Malkin, which is too bad. All right, so we need another creature, or this is all useless. Got one. Never, etc. More pauses, but oh, they have but now they have the vine that could be explaining it. And if that's their action, if they sack the vine, all right, yeah, that's great. I'm not going to call you crazy, Tron, but I think it is biased towards your expectations. Yeah, you're right, Haj. I should draw first. Thank you, Queen. 19 months. All right, sorry. Back to this situation. We can play our Snout and have a Titanic Growth. That seems fine. And I'm going to give it a counter. And then drop this. We could even send in the Visionary and have the growth. If they go for a trade, we're trading a Titanic Growth for their Visionary. I don't love that. I'm just going to stay back here. Try to get something bigger with this. They're playing green-red too, so I'm expecting large creatures from Oppo, in which a Titanic Growth during combat could make all the difference. Gonna have to punch that Death Toucher. Getting a little floody. We don't have any looting, so not a lot of concerns for playing out land. And we do have 6 drops to find. Let's see. With this mana, they could do the, removal spell, but we have Titanic Growth to save. Yeah, going optimal at Gmail is a good way to reach me. Right on. Thanks, Fiddles. There is a meme waiting in the wings, but we have not seen the card it is based around yet, and I am working on another one too, so maybe we're going to end up with a lot of memes in this format. Yeah, we're gonna punch with the piggy. And if they go for removal, we have the Titanic Growth to save it, since the only removal they could have is red-based. Hey, it is exactly what I was afraid of, but we do have the growth to save. Sanderi, everything. If it doesn't come up naturally this week, next week I will do a stipulation to try and force the archetype where it's most likely to come up. How about that? The one that we have not seen, I'll give you this hint, is from an uncommon. So we got another Hunter's Edge, and we're going to use it. Now they can't even use the Scorching Dragonfire on the Truffle Snout successfully. We could even do it on the Visionary. Then they both have attacks. Let's move. Let's spread around our power here. Now, of course, they could shock the Visionary, but I'm going to risk it. Looks like it may not pay off. Wow, they did have another one. I got greedy, and it cost us. I'm going to play the Cur. Well, I might play the Cur and start forcing them to figure that out and hold the Snout back. Oh yeah, you want to sail? Huh. I even named the removal spell and then switched my play to one that made it vulnerable to that. Sorry, I was talking over that meme. I forget it because I don't hear the memes when I run them. If I do, you would all hear them twice. So sorry for talking over the meme, but I'm basically saying, yeah, I kind of figured out that there could be a Dragonfire, started to play around it, then failed to. Now, if we send the Cur, they're just going to trade off the Visionary. Give me an example, Haj. What's a greedy thing that you shouldn't do? Because, I mean, I try to take my wins when I can. And I joke about being greedy, but generally when I do something that appears greedy, it's because I think it genuinely increases our win percentage, right? So if you can expand on that thought a little bit, that would be interesting. I'm going to be patient. We have another kitty that could get the Truffle Snout to 5/5. Really too bad I didn't play around the Dragonfire, although the silver lining is the Dragonfire's out of their hand. All right, now with that, I'm more inclined to start trying to do some trading. And wish I'd played a land because we could pump the Cur and drop the Dreadmaw if we had pulled that off. Maybe we send the Truffle Snout, see what they do, drop the Dreadmaw, and then have a massive Dreadmaw / Cur attack next turn. Might be trading our Truffle Snout for a Trick instead of an Ogre. But either way, it should help the Dreadmaw be better. I don't want to send the Cur yet, because if I send the Cur and they block both, then I have to spend mana on pumping the Cur, and then we strand the Dreadmaw for the turn. So I'm going for Dreadmaw this turn is my plan. Oh, Hodge, that was just a mistake. I actually thought through and was not trying to be greedy and then just didn't think about it, you know? So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. We're trading a Titanic Growth for a Truffle Snout, but it does set up the Dreadmaw to be more effective. But yeah, I messed up that play. I should have stuck with my guns and done the safe thing. I just kind of forgot that it wasn't safe. Well, I don't know what this last card is, but we're going to put him to the test, because if it's not anything, if it's just a land, they can't really block both. And if they want to trade Visionary and Ogre for Dreadmaw, we're going to let that happen. And cross our fingers. If they do have a spell up top there, this could be bad for us. All right, they got rid of one threat. Man, I thought we were stacked on removal. Well, let's train. All right. What a draw. What a draw. Sorry, Oppo. This is going to make you mad. Unless they found something awesome, too. It's possible, I suppose. Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar. Is there any +1 to toughness in red or green? Because there could be an argument to go for the Visionary if that's the case. I don't think it matters. I don't think... Oh, Guile. But Guile works no matter what. It doesn't matter. Like, that's just going to stop it cold. Stop it whatever we target. So, Guile's the only one. I'm going to go for the Ogre. Because this is worth more trample. But it'd be worth giving up trample damage if it played around anything that could have made that go awry. Well, they're blocking, but they have to. All right, doesn't look like a shock coming. Yeah, I had triple trample on Dreadmaw. All right, picked up a win here. No mythic bombs that time, and one suboptimal abandonment of the safer play, but I managed to win anyway. Yeah, triple trample on a dinosaur even for Tappy Toe Claws. Yeah, Oppo may be upset with me for my pace of play, but I have other concerns here. Close to a great hand. Show me a mountain, and I like this a lot. But without red, we could keep it. We do have any land gets us Pride Malkin and Truffle Snout. Also, yeah, didn't really look closely. I gotta go look at my lands after this. I just trusted the system. What do you think? Anybody else on keep or mole here? Our opponent says mulligan. Some greedy now. So Hodge, what are you like? This is an interesting one because Hodge is talking about not being greedy. We are any land away from something on 3, but this is a format where you do want to act on 2, right? Like in almost any format, this is almost a snap keep for me because it serves my metric of if you get any land in your deck, are you going to play something reasonable on turn 3? The answer here is yes. But this is a kind of a 2-drop format. So that's my only concern. But I'm going to be greedy and keep. Because, again, I don't think it's greedy in that sense. It's greedy in the sense of I'm taking a risk, but I do think it's a risk that rewards a higher win percentage. James doesn't want to miss the 3rd land. I mean, on the draw with 17 lands, I just and also, you know, cyclers, we got to risk it, I think. Because you're giving us odds for land specifically, but we could find tracker. So there's another out, but we found it. Never punished, of course. Didn't find a creature, but now if they drop a nice 3, we can scorch it. And that qualifies. We'll scorch that. I'm just gonna get the snout down. It initially hits as hard as Rada anyway, and if we find a land and they play something nice, we can Hunter's Edge it. Or not. It is captured. Now we're out of plays. I'm gonna go Rada here over Pride Malkin because I would like to Pride Malkin Rada. But we're crossing our fingers. I kind of expect Rada to die, but I wasn't not gonna play her. That's okay. Rada's not dead yet. Not dead yet. Are we untapping with Rada and... Alright, well, we have a Titanic Growth which you could use to try to preserve Rada. They didn't equip. That's super interesting to note. No equip here. So, with the lack of equip, I am going to just hold up Titanic Growth. And yeah, I'm gonna keep Titanic Growth up here. I think they're showing they scared me by not equipping the short sword. Boy. Little punished here. But we don't have to discard yet. Hodge wants to do Malkin on Rada. I like keeping up the Titanic growth right now. And even attacking in and seeing what they want to do. If they block, I'm actually just going to let that happen. I think you're right that Dragonfire doesn't seem to be the exact thing here, but there you go. I knew I was going to be happy keeping this up. They could counter it or whatever, but we're going to make them have it. All right. Well, I'm happy with my read anyway, even though it didn't work out. Oh, shoot, I didn't pay. Sorry, everybody. Wow, I just assumed that the... Oh, I did. I did pay. What happened? Did I pay on accident? Did I... I'm accidentally good. Accidentally good. Woohoo! Accidentally good. Accidentally good. For once, the UI saves my sorry butt. Double slag. All right, they got it on the second slag. Now, gosh, I guess we could cur it before crash through. It's at least a play. What I want to do is crash through and find a land, but if we don't find a mountain, we still don't get a play. Yeah, cur doesn't do anything, but it does. It does pump to 3. Yeah. Let's crash through. We got to find land. Hey, we found land. Unfortunately, the wrong color, but still land. And also, feeling pretty good about Oppo being on Short Sword, Arcanist. There we go. I mean, that's pretty big. But we've got big, and we got double big, so we just got to get there, and then we can be all right. Visionary. Drawing a card, find another land, play cur. Yeah, Rousing Reed kind of ends us pretty quickly, although they're at 13, and we can now dump Dreadmaws on the table. So we might be able to race a Megalodon, a scholarly Megalodon. Top is not what we want to see. Gosh, I'm so glad I was accidentally good. We might not win this game, but that would have been so sad if I had let that spell get countered unnecessarily. Something about people throwing a counter spell out, I just assume that it's going to get countered, but that's really bad. Keep that in mind as a bluff, I guess. 1, 2, we got 7 total mana here. Hello, Crusader. Hodge likes pump edge, and it does give us a nice big attack to actually serve this race. And it basically is 6 power of haste. I'm going with Hodge's play. I think Hodge has it sussed. If they interact with this, we're in big trouble, but make them have it. All right. Well, let's see. They've got... Seems like they've got something. They're pausing, and... They can attack if they come up with a defender or two. But hopefully we've put them on the back foot now. Wow. All right. They're saying they can race. They did top their last scry when they attacked last turn, so they like whatever they drew. What is it? Brace yourselves. And no equip. I don't know what's going on now. I don't know why you wouldn't equip with 7 mana up. Even with even a Sublime you can equip though, right? So 5, 6, 7, but we want to attack with it. More likely 7 total. Yeah, Frost Breath is interesting. Well, let's see if that's what it is, and move to attacks. Okay. Yeah, we can attack with the Cur and the Malkin, and then if we pump, boom, boom, we drop down to 4 here, but then 5, 6, and we can still cast the Dreadmaw. So let's force lethal and then see what they've got for this and drop a Dreadmaw on D. Yeah, it feels like something like that, right? Okay, well, it's not an epiphany. It is, however, blockers. That doesn't change much. You would drop the Oak instead? What's your thought there? I don't understand why you'd play the Oak over this. If we could 2-spell, I would understand. We could Oak... Yeah, I guess we could have Oaked plus Edge, but we'd only get the Goblin Wizard. If they send in, we will double block because we have a backup Dreadmaw. All right, and now we get to go Edge Burlfist. Is it Edge for the win? Let's see. How is it Edge for the win? If we edge the Visionary, taking out the Skimmer. Yeah, I don't think it's for the win, right? But we can go Burlfist Edge. And do we want Visionary bigger or Dreadmaw bigger? Probably just still grow the... Oh yeah, we could edge the Oak. We could play Burlfist and edge that. Yeah, then it's... gives 2 lethal attacks. Fair enough. Okay, I like the Hajj line. Rough. Rough, but we're not dead yet. Yeah, we actually have to trade for the Gobbo here. It does mean we're just chumping next turn, but what are we gonna do? We're gonna be put in a chumping situation here. 6, 7, 8. All right, Burl Fist plus Pride Malkin gives us a chump and a crackback win. So this is actually good. Because we were going to be in a spot where we're just running guys out into Chump City, but this gives us a chance to actually force them to stop attacking and set up for a comeback win. All right, they can't attack. And if they can just hit a couple of lands in a row... What? Why is Oppo giving us the win? Oppo literally just gave us the win. Did they not read this card? Or did I not read this card? I don't know. Oppo punt. We'll take it. I thought we were going to have to work a little harder to win this one. Yeah, they must have misread how that card worked. Different pilot probably takes us down there. Oppo punt gave us a win. We'll take it and be happy and jump right back in. Oh wait, I'm not going to jump right back in. I said I didn't really look closely at my lands. I want to make sure I'm happy with how the land split is. And I want to be aware of how low we are in creatures. Only 12 creatures. Does that mean we're supposed to bring in more? And if so, what? I mean, we don't even have them. I'm not bringing in this. So I guess the answer is no. And we could bring in a crash through to cycle to our creatures faster and take out like a track down. But that's finding creatures too. Take out a Titanic Growth as the least of our creature kill, because that's what it's trying to be. That's all I can think, is that we could increase our card flow with crash through, but I think that's fine. So then this is where, yeah, 9, 8. Should it be 8, 9? I think it should be... Of course, Burl Fist wants the double green, but I really want this shock crash through stuff available early. You want 10-6 green? Heck, I was looking at going back to majority red. It's tough because we do have double green, but the red is what I want most early. It's not about green pips, though, old fat guy. I think if you're taking the approach of count my pips, you're doing it wrong. The way I strongly encourage to assess your land balance needs is to look at your turn 2. Look at your turn 2 and, to an extent, turn 3. But what you're doing early drives for me what kind of mana I want. Yes, we have more green pips, but I'm really not concerned about having 2 green by the time I'm casting Dreadmaws. You still like 9-8 green? It's close. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit heavier on the red, especially with those crash throughs that I want to cycle on turn 1 when we have them. Crash throughs are partly in the deck because they are a turn 1 play, and it's important to me that we meet that need. Pretty easy keep here, although we don't have our 3rd land yet. That could screw us pretty hard, but if we can get there, we're in good shape on land. If we get there on land, we're in good shape. Yeah, it was 9-8. 9-8 red. Hopefully they give a nice juicy Dragonfire target so that we don't do nothing on 2. Well, they did nothing on 3, so I guess that's fair. And as usual, I'm not going to lead with the Rada, even though we've had Rada on 3 many times. Haven't cast her on 3 yet because I've consistently had better things to do, which in this case is going to be draw a card and ramp. That's so great. I mean, I was going to say, what I love about the turn 3 Visionary play into that mana is that I don't care if they use, like, yeah, I'd like a little ramp, but I don't care. We just drew a card and they use premium removal. Well, maybe it's not premium. Eliminate's not, you know, getting... Yeah, it's premium, right? CMC 3, there's a lot of CMC 3. What's up, David? What did I do wrong? If you wanted to play Rada, no, I'm not playing Rada. I'm still gonna run out. I like saving Rada till late. I mean, this takes over the game late. I'm saving Rada for as long as I can, because as a 3/3 for 3, I mean, yeah, she may find us some lands to play. I get that, but she's so valuable as a late game threat. I don't want to run her out yet. We're gonna run the Snouty Snout, and no way to draw from here. I guess I'm gonna at least threaten like Shock. Might be in our stuff here, but gotta throw some full control bluffing on for that. James thinks I'm undervaluing the pseudo card draw. I don't think I'm, well, maybe I'm undervaluing it, but I'm at least thinking about it. I just don't, I don't want to lose it. I value the possible late game activation in this spot very highly. Our full control bluff didn't work. They went ahead and tried a training onto the sniper. I would have been very nervous about doing that with a pause on a single mountain up. That's what I was trying to do, but Oppo didn't get the memo. So now we could Rada, and if we find a land on top, play it and have Dragonfire. So now I'm going to follow what James is saying, that as much as I would like to protect this card until we can do the high-end thing with it, we're not finding our land, so it's actually a great play now to try and find land on top. No land on top, unfortunately, but we do get an attack here, right? Yeah. Hodge said swing first. The reason I played Rada first, Hodge, is that I wanted to find the land and then have Dragonfire. Gotta march up to get Rada to 5. Like, between Pride Malkin and training, like, I'm gonna go training on Rada. Or maybe, you would have swung 2, swinging first, or you would have played first to have Scorching for the swing. Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. Forgot Rada's ability there for a second. So we have that. Let's go. Malkin. Do we want to get Rada bigger? Yeah, we could just double fire. That's totally reasonable. They're down to 3 cards, and we'd have a lot left to try to win with from here. Thanks for the reminder on Rada, by the way. That would have been dumb if I'd forgotten that. If we swing first, what's the idea? Swing with just the Truffle Snout, you mean? Trade Truffle Snout and Dragonfire first? Oh, first strike plus Scorch, right. Yeah, we can swing both, because we trade Snout plus Dragonfire, or Rada, it makes it a 1-for-1. So yeah, we've taken a long time to think, so now let's send in and maybe, and we're happy to do Dragonfire plus either of these blocked to get there. Now they're worried. You know, we could have +4, etc. Lots of things we could be scary with here. Great. And let's throw a counter on Rada. We could have put a counter on Truffle Snout to divide up our power a little bit. You know, if they do have removal, making Truffle Snout a little better might be better than making Rada even greater. In this case, Trample Reach, I don't know what they're up to, but I'm happy to try and take this trade. Now I like just Pride Malkin on Truffle Snout, send in both and have Dragonfire in case of double block. I'm seeing we don't have a land here. I'm remembering to look. See, we don't have a land here. Kind of want this, when my top of library is revealed, I want it to be like a gigantic window in the middle of the screen. Perfect. We scorch the Thallid. They don't even get the 1/1, and they probably scoop here, honestly. I don't know how Oppo recovers from this. They got the Rada, but de nada. I think we have this one. I don't know what saves them in the format. Massacre Worm would do it, yep. Nice. Started off with a loss, but have been cleaning up in the losers bracket since. Waiting, waiting. Nope, not even gonna tell you color. I'm gonna keep this though on the strength of both our colors and a track down to help find a third land if we can't find something else to do on 2. But this is my problem with track down. Imagine if this were 1 mana, being able to do this on turn 1 to set up finding a 2, to set up, you know, 1 is not 2. But still like it enough to play it, and we'll be happy enough to run it on 2 here. Well, Rob, in his defense of running the card or wanting to pick the card earlier, was pointing out its comparison to Ponder. And I get it. I'm not saying that it's an inappropriate comparison. It just has to be done while mentioning the mana difference. Uh-oh, you know what's coming, right? When your Oppo is dropping garbage-looking cheap drops. Turn 4 Acolyte, anybody? You know it's coming. All right, we like the Dragonfire. We have the mana to support a second Dreadmaw eventually. I mean, we don't have it yet. We have 5 of 6. Maybe we can drop 1 Dreadmaw on that thought. You keeping the Dreadmaw or not? I mean, this is red-white aggro. I think 2 Dreadmaws is too much for what we're trying to accomplish here. I like this. Am I playing Rada on 3? If we, yeah, because we don't have anything else to do here. We couldn't really set up for Rada on 3 because we were going to draw both the cards we wanted to keep. I mean, I guess we could have, like... Anyway, I'm happy with our sequencing there. Really nervous about Oppo's 4th turn, though. Yeah, curve out by Oppo is okay right now, but if they find the Acolyte on 4... Ugh. Well, we got some tools, though. Snare Spinner incoming. I will remember to look for a land underneath. If there's a land under the Snare Spinner, we can play it with Rada, assuming Rada lives. No great hope there. Although 3 mountains means no Acolyte, but I expect this Rada to die. Yeah, in order to do that, but then we didn't have the we didn't have the land, right? I think this is the right play. Just going, well, we could go Snare Spinner, keep up Dragonfire. With the Flyer, that's actually good. Let's do that. I will Scorch that Enforcer at the end of their turn if nothing better comes along. I didn't bother doing it main phase because if they have something like Feat of Resistance, they had the mana up there. Snare Spinner quite good on their current board. Let's see what they do to augment their dudes. Yeah, I wish they had Acolyte. If they're gonna play Acolyte this game, it would be nice if they did it now because we have the Dragonfire ready. I'll make the block. We have tools if they try to get frisky after the fact. But the fact that the Pegasus did not attack suggests they don't have that. Dragonfire on Striker more important than the Enforcer to me, although the Enforcer will be a problem eventually, but we have good removal in the deck. We can take care of it eventually. Let's take care of the biggest threat they're assembling. You want fire on the Enforcer, Fenor? I didn't like leaving this double Striker around. Yeah, that's true. We could get the Striker with growth, but I think you could go either way with it. We have lots of tools to eventually get the Enforcer as well. Shields down, and we'll be next turn 2. Let's see what Oppo wants to do to take advantage of that. Chat's gonna help Logan find the queue of Logan's choice. Offering for the snare spinner, I'm inclined to say yes because it turns off the enforcer. Right? Oh, let's make this trade. I'm in. Yeah, Logan, the UI on some of that stuff is pretty sketchy. Yeah, it could have been a sure strike, but it would have had to have been, like, it seemed like they drew the charger, and if they'd had sure strike, they would have been attacking and using it before, so they didn't attack with that flyer last turn. I didn't have them on this and a sure strike. And let's see, if we attack 4-5, they can't double block with Enforcer and Shield Mate to any effect. And we have the Titanic Growth in case of emergency, so let's swing. And then drop a Dreadmaw. They kind of need white removal for the Dreadmaw, or another flyer to turn on the Enforcer. But, you know, like, Faith's Fetters would be good. But red removal tends to not be able to get that done. They can tap again, unfortunately. But not right now. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can't attack with everything because they have Crackback for the win. Looking good right now. For who? Can't be for us because we can't even attack with the Celestial Enforcer. But then I guess we don't lose, but we can swing with the Maw because then if the Burlfist is back and they use the Enforcer to tap it, they don't have lethal. And Hodge is right that the only way we can win is to get him down now with the Dreadmaw, surprise them, you know, go to 2 next turn and then come back. Oh yeah, sure. And then come back next turn with a 10 mana with a Titanic Growth Dreadmaw, and maybe we can get there. Could just lose to additional removal. All right, well, we gotta slag it, but then we don't lose. I mean, we save it, we tighten it to save it from the slag, and then don't lose. Now, they are setting us up if we can... Seems terrible, Oppo. You gonna give us the win? Do we just get another gifted win? Are you kidding me? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... What are Oppos doing? Don't we just win? All right, 2 times today, Oppos have just said, here. Won't even play the Pride Malkin. We'll just... Little Oppo punt again. Well, not a little Oppo, a huge Oppo punt for another gift win. Yeah, we are crawling our way up in Premier here, so we're down at the lower levels for now. Yeah, maybe both times it's been forgetting the Oak Pump. Well, we weighted ourselves towards mountains and may miss out on an early Burlfist as a result, but I still like leaning 1 mountain, given our need for early red. There's our other green, though, so we're We're nice on that front. Probably Kerr first. Be able to threaten that pump. Nothing to do here but drop a snare spinner after attack. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try and show a shock here. I just hit the control key to put on full control just a couple times during Oppo's turn to create a pause that might make them think we have a shock in hand. And so now we go, well, Sky Scanner's not worth shocking. Can't shock the Tome Anima. All right, you can have it, Oppo. A little subtle, not everybody gets that kind of thing, but for those that do, it can be very effective. We could make a Burly Fist here, and then next turn be able to track it down into something pretty massive. Leafkin is ramp, but we're not really ramping anywhere. So let's go Oak. Yeah, Oak can't lose, right? Might as well play it. Are we attacking first? Look at me assessing my attacks before just completing the agreed upon plan. We could send the Kerr, and they probably don't block because they don't want to trade Tome for it. So yeah, let's offer the Kerr. If they take it, we can go pump once, then track down, and it's all right. Yeah, this is not the ideal play, but I'm fine with this. Whoa. We do need like a 6th land, so I am gonna keep land number. We could scry it all down and see what we get. We do have a lot of misses though. We'll just take the mountain and not be too risky here. We don't know it's free draw though, right, Breed? Or are you saying if we don't leave it on top, we might miss it? I mean, the thing is, if this is a land or a creature, we would have gotten that free draw. We just don't know it for sure. So we took the sure free draw, and in fact, it would have missed. So there you go. I mean, that's just looking at the results. It's not, let's not be results oriented and say, and therefore correct, but in this case, worked out. And I'm going to get Burly again. Called shot from Alpha. Let's see, what can we do about that? We actually have some play here, though. Let's Hunter's Edge and fire and just kill it right now, and then it's great. Wow. Hard to beat this whale, but we just have the right tools here. Hold on, I want to make sure. I do not want auto tap to get me, so I'm going to manually tap here. I don't think that it would, but, you know, just being careful. Whale tax can't do it. Oh, right. Shoot. Okay, so that's different. I'm gonna let this wind down. We might just not be able to win this because of that. I guess what we do is Avenger plus Dragonfire on... Even that's not enough. Yeah, I like it. I think G-Pix got the line, and so does Timnos. I didn't think about that. It's a good one. A sad use of our mana, but and our premium removal, but got to do it. Worried about a Hunter's Edge from Oppo. I mean, that's great. No problem. We'll take that. Can manage that. Whale is big and has attacks here. We need a beefy creature to hold here. That's not what we needed. We can fade one more attack from the whale. Let's play this land and see what we've got coming up. Nothing we want. And now we've got to Hunter's Edge the Skimmer, and I guess I'm actually going to Hunter's Edge from the Oak because the Avenger has to chump the whale anyway. So let's fist up the Oak. We're up against it, but...
I'm not dead! What? Nothing? Here's your knife. I'm not dead!
There. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is. I'm not!
Oh, well, we don't have to. I guess we could go to 1 here. Maybe we need to go to 1. Trouble is that, yeah, then we have Spinner on Skyscanner, these 2 on Whale, and whatever we draw on Larcenist. Yeah, my plan was to chump, but now I think about it, we should just go to 1. Good call from... Oh, why do you do that to our pirate? Yeah. You've been answered. Yeah, I'm gonna say no blocks. We have draws to get out. Look at that. We got there, barely. Now, yeah, I still can't attack with anything because I don't want to. We're in a very precarious situation here. We need everything. That is serious trouble. Can't beat a Kraken if they tap with it. But here... Oh, nice. They found it. Well done. Golf clap for Oppo. Well played, well played. All right, took a second loss after rattling 4 in a row. Let's see if we can make it to real profit. We're close, 1,400 gems on a 1,500 entry, but we really want this 1,600 in pure profit. So, you want to sail away for Oppo? Good job, Oppo. Here's a meme for you, just from James. And as always, from Mama. All right, gang. 1 more at least. Let's get 1 more win here. We can do this. $5-3 is so much better sounding a result than 4-3. Feels like more than 1. A lot of land, but we do have something to do with it, so we keep this. See if we find a 2, but I can't throw this back. Love having 2s in this format, but had to keep. I'm gonna play a forest to disguise our lack of shock. Although you'd think we could do that. No 2-drop, but all right, we'll take it. We got Visionary for the 3rd. Always a nice option. Freebooter, swing and a miss. Suck it, Freebooter. And then we find something Freebooter would have loved. Perfect. I think it's fine if, again, what's its job? Its job is to show up on turn 2, find a critical removal spell from your opponent's hand, and by taking it out of their hand early, set yourself up to make it to a late game, or set yourself up to successfully leverage your board advantage to get aggro. Like, basically, it's just to disrupt on 2 and set up the longer. Condo inspection, right on, Buckeye. Hope you become a homeowner soon. 5 mana, we don't have any 5-drops, we don't have any 2-spell opportunities, so I'm gonna go for one of our 4s and an attack. I'm gonna go Leafkin Avenger. It really attacks as big as an oak, and if we need the mana, we'll be happy to have that. Just knowing Oppo's hand is worth something, but probably like a quarter of a card. Something like that. Oppo's stuck on land too, so this is starting to look good for us. Gonna go for the Dreadmaw. But Oak doesn't really put, yeah, without the drawing, it doesn't really push harder, right? Certainly didn't push harder with what we had in hand. We may have found a crash through or something. Burl Fist can drop and still have the shock. Could even trade Visionary for shock and or trade Lurker for Visionary and shock. Might be worth it. Could also just Hunter's Edge the Dreadmaw and get in. Well, if we do Edge and pound for 9, yeah, we can do Edge, pound for 9, hold up shock. That's fine. Drop a land, they could have hard removal at 5 in black. Whatever that one instant is. Rise again on Waker. Pretty good, but we have the Hunter's Edge to make Oppo real sad here. And I'm going to take the Freebooter out of the equation so we can be close to winning. All right, profit. I knew we were close. I didn't realize we were exactsies. Very nice. By the way, at 5 wins, I just want to call out. I've been meaning to call this out. I always forget to. But really, even when we hit 4 wins, if I were not streaming, just to model my account management behavior, as someone who drafts on this account every day, usually, if I'm not streaming, I will stop once I have an empty quest slot, waiting for new quests. So we have our empty quest slot. We have won at least 4 times today. Once you have won 4 times and emptied your quest slot, that's when if I still want to keep playing Magic, switch to a secondary account so that I'm continuing to play while WotC pays me gold. Paying for getting paid gold in quests and getting paid gold in wins. So I wanted to just call that out. Because we're streaming, we're going to keep going on with our event. But if I were offline, I would absolutely stop playing on this account right now and go play somewhere else that still had gold to earn on the day. Play on an account that had gold to earn for the day. But we will jump back in here and try to push it up to 6. I just suspended playing. So what we're going to do today, I'm probably going to have some time to kill between the end of this event and the streamer showdown in 2 hours. So with the 2 hours we have, I'm going to start with playing out the events that we started on air but didn't finish. There's 2 of those. And then battle viewers or whatever until the event starts. This is a fine keep. Yeah, Timber, if you're doing 3 accounts, I mean, you see that you just, like, at some point, you have enough magic in your life, right? We could hold up the Scorching Dragonfire, but if we don't have a target, I'll be really sad that we didn't spend our track down mana. So I'm going to track down and not hold up Dragonfire. Really, we want land here. All right, found land and Rada. We'll put Rada on top in case we want to cast her, but I want to keep everything here. Gets to our 5th land and one of our good spells. Could make an argument for dropping 1 mountain. Yeah, Tron, I stopped and just said, Tron thinking the same thing I am. But yeah, Rada lets us play this mountain for free. So there's that. Yeah, I'm going to do that, Tron, because if we play, but then I have to commit to playing Rada. I think we can do that knowing we get the free land out of it, right? So I'm going to do this. And then next turn we'll play Rada and play the... oh, we don't. We draw the land after. No, I missed the... It's a tough thing to figure out the stacking, and I messed it up. We're not going to get that land. I still might have kept it, but as you could see, I was on the edge of keeping it anyway. But I think if I successfully thought it through, I actually would have bottomed the land. Because what I was thinking was we would play Rada and play this land, but of course we can't. We have to play a land to play Rada, so now we're going to draw this land. That being said, it's not the worst for us, but it does make me think we don't have to play Rada this turn if we don't want to risk Rada. We can drop Truffle Snout, for example. And I like that. Holds back. Then we put it in front of the Blackguard, and if they want to use all their mana to trade, that's fine. Yeah, if I'd done Rada land, it would have worked. But then we still are just kind of choking on a lot of land. Still, yes, that was the right sequencing. And I'm going to go Snout here. Could even go Snout, gain 4, and look to trade. That's not, you know... If we're going to block, I should just gain 4. And I think I will. I'm going to gain 4 and block. Swooper lifts the charger, but... Oh, they're going to offer the trade? Sure, we'll take the trade. That was the plan anyway. And a couple Dragon Fires can clear the board if we want. And then we can play Rada after. We don't even need to use Dragonfire on the Charger if we want to trade Ogre for it or something. We got a lot. We have a Hunter's Edge in hand too. I like just fire, clear board, render their Feat of Resistance useless. Feat of Resistance is useless. If you did, James, I missed it too. So now, I'm not going to play my land. If we're going to run Rada out, we want... we have a mountain in hand, though, so I want to leave Forest. Because we can play the mountain and still do the crash through. I'm going to do this. Oh, well, if it's... No. If it's a... if it's a forest on top, I want to play it. And therefore, I need to be sure I have the mountain left for the crash through, right? Yes, figured it out. Not a forest, but we should still crash through and maybe we'll find one. Hey, look, we found one. I did it right, everybody. Yeah, we probably didn't think Rada was going to live. But we do have the edge if we can just have one of our creatures survive. I like that one better than the Ogre, although if they... Yeah, I guess all the common removal gets both of these. I'll do this. I sometimes do it on accident, Rob. Sorry. Reading cards. Ogre, playing the Ogre would not have left up removal. I don't know what that means. Buckeye? Yeah, mana. If we could have had Ogre and removal, I would have snapped on that. Lack of Devotee attacking is a good sign for us. It means they don't really have the tools to get rid of the Avenger. So we can take this attack and untap and have the edge. And in fact, with the Avenger tapping for mana, if we draw a land, we can edge twice. Get this and this and just manage a zombie token. All right, we did find the land. And we could go Ogre... Hunter's Edge and have Ogre ready as a 4 power ready to trade with Chorister. Gotta kill this Devotee though. So now I'm just thinking about that. I like Ogre, make it a 5/3 and yeah. Ogre plus Edge is where I'm at. We don't even need to make it 5/3. We'll make our Avenger a 5/3 and try to trade off 4/2 for the Chorister. I'm not going to block with the Avenger, so I am going to attack with it. Although, are we dead to removal? Pumped is 4, 5, 6. We're not dead to removal, so I am going to be risky here. Because if they spend their next turn on removal, they still have these 2 creatures. On our next turn, we leave the Avenger back, we Hunter's Edge, the Chorister, and then we have blocks. So, and we got to kill them at some point. So, somewhat aggressive, but it doesn't. I don't think they can get lethal off of just a piece of removal here. That's true. If they use removal, they can't even pump the Chorister unless it's, let's see, 6. They could play a land and do Grasp plus Chorister. We're going to offer this trade. Try anyway. Is that it? Trade, trade, trade? Don't put a +1. No! Ah! That's all right. We get it. We're trading for the trick, and then we get to kill it here. So, ooh, and even the Dreadmaw after is very nice, but I'm still feeling like removal isn't going to kill us. And so I'm also going to attack. Am I being dumb? Is there some punishment I'm not thinking of where this 2/2 is going to combine with something in white-black to kill us? Demonic Embrace, but that flies, so it kills us anyway. All right, so attacking. Yeah, Charger would do it. Charger is a fear. Dub doesn't even do it. Right? Dub gets us to 1. Well, they didn't show it here. Oh, Charger's +2, you're right. So I was thinking it was 3-0 because it's a 3-1 itself, but it only gives +2. Still being risky. Risk it for the biscuit. Maybe. Let's see. I don't think... Maybe it could have done both. Ranger was on it. Crash through seems nice here. Almost. You wanted the Avenger ability? Yeah, that was not... So, did I miss lethal or something? Maybe I made an error there that I don't fully get, but we'll see. I get that this has an ability, but it felt like attacking with the trample was... Yeah, they would have chumped, right? I mean... Yeah, G-Pick maybe being a little more conservative in their thinking than I was being about it. We could have been a little more conservative in leaving things back to block and just relied on our Avenger to get there. Hopefully this timeout is either them just BMing and leaving or them tanking and trying desperately to find a way that is not there. Veto. Wow. I can see why they were thinking now, because they do get this in the activation, but it's not enough. They get us to 1, and then we crack for the win. So sorry, Oppo. Very close. Wow. Way tighter than we thought it would be. Ah, okay. They're being smart. Now we need removal. Do they have... Oh, very smart, Oppo. Because now... but we just have this. Never mind. I was thinking they were being clever, but we have the Avenger for reach. Yeah. We can just Lava Axe. But you can see what I mean. If it weren't for this ability, they played it very well by not attacking, because they're much better on defense with the lifelink than the offense. But yes, we just get to do this and end target game. But a very clever line from Oppo to max their chances. Revitalize, does that even do it? Then they would have to spend their mana, not be able to activate Veto, and we could swing for the win. Yeah, we may have been okay with the trample anyway, but obviously just using the Avenger ability was the way to go. All right, you get the profit meme again, because we're really profitable now. Oh, no trigger. Yes, the trigger gives everything else lifelink. Yeah, right, you're right. Sorry. Reading cards. That's for other streams. You're correct, chat. I was thinking they had to do the 5 in order to get the static, but the static is just sitting there. Reading is so hard I don't bother, Jim. Nah, Lava Axe was never good. I don't think I've ever played a Lava Axe main deck, but there are some decks that I could conceive of it being okay in. Yes, Lava Axe is certainly the flavor text that did the most with the least. We'll go for track down later. Right now, I'm just going to actually deploy threats, even though this one cannot make it through a vine, even with some training. I'm going to go Visionary to try to get the ramp going. And of course, here in the 6-win bracket, when a turn 2 Pteranodon comes down, you all know this is going to be attacking next turn, right? Like, just no question? Just no question. I will bet, not my hair, but I'm expecting this Pteranodon to attack. I'm glad I didn't bet. We actually got a turn off from a Pteranodon, everybody. And now I kind of want to kill it. I could play Rada, but I'm so interested in killing this Pteranodon while we can. I'm just going to Hunter's Edge it right now with the Visionary. Right, Acolyte on 4 or whatever, that's exactly why I want to get this done. Taking a turn off to kill a 2-drop with a 4-mana removal spell. That's how good it is, I think. And we do get to attack the Visionary. That's nice, too. Yeah, the bird can live. The dino, not so much. Yeah, they did not like that, huh? Oh, almost did it, but I stopped myself. This is one of my leaks. I just grab lands and throw them out there like that's what you're supposed to do. But I remembered. That's good. So we can actually Rada and see if we find something on top. And if we don't, we can play Forest and track down to try to set up Rada being good next turn. And I'll try to do it in a way that works. So let's Rada and see about the top. We can still track down even with Visionary, I forgot. So this is good. We should be able to track, if we don't, we have a land, so we didn't need to, but if we didn't have this land here, we could track down to set one up. And training. We could also do training instead here. And put that here. And then it gives us attacks that I'd be happy with, although we kind of have that anyway with the with just the Visionary alone. Maybe just go Pride Malk in here. Yeah, I like that. Let's do this. And where do we want to put this? Counter on Rada, put some eggs in basket, but does get us so we can start attacking and then activate Rada. I'll risk it. If Rada can live here, it should be very good for us. I'm a little worried about attacking in, but Rada can't attack this turn anyway. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, Rada having trample off the Pride Malkin bottom ability with the training and the pump. Well, training gives it naturally, but just the pump should be good. I mean, this is a 10-10 trampler next turn. Got shock on top, so Chorister got away with one there. Hey Noxus, it's heading back in the right direction. Started out rough, but have had some good results of late to make me feel a little better about things. Glad you could make it live, by the way. That's awesome. We will play our mountain off of Rada while we can, and then tracking down this one away seems good, but we can send in an attack first. Quite the threat of activation. And 10-10 trample with 6-6, 7-8. Yeah, like Rada is just a clean attack here. Yeah, it looks like the Acolyte read was not correct, but always good to ask yourself, what am I going to do about this white deck if they drop an Acolyte on 4? Yeah, first strike makes it very, very easy to have the good attack there. I'm not going to spend my turn on the pump, though. Let's deploy some more stuff. There's an argument for adding 6 to this damage and getting him to 7 and, you know, just trying to burn him out, but it's a little too far off for that approach, I think. Yeah, we want to track down first, and then we'll understand what the training is going to do a little more. We can get rid of the lands and draw the Maw. Yeah, destroy trapped creature would have hurt, but especially if we pumped, which is one reason not to pump. But I like just taking the Dreadmaw here. And we could train and draw and cast the Ogre. That's worth it. Let's keep our stuff mixed up, though, and I'm going to throw this on the Snare Spinner. Spread our power and toughness around a bit. Unfortunately, we're going to draw this next turn. But we'll play this. A very full turn. Now let's see what they've got. I don't think so. Shock up would be nice, but I'd rather build up a nice massive board and then try and get them next turn with the various stuff we have. Although, there you go. Shock would have been nice in that spot. At some point, though, like now we send in, and this has natural lifelink, unfortunately, so I think we just send in Rada again. I got lucky. I did not look to see if this was a land on top. pure luck that this wasn't a land you could laugh at me about. I completely forgot to check. And we can have the shock up. I guess we start with the Rada attack because it's just very good still. They might need to put everything on it here. I don't think we have realistic lethal with the chorister block, was my thing. I didn't do the math, but I just figured with +5 life, it was not going to happen. Is there any reason to shock it, like for extra trample damage? Nah. Like 13. Yeah, not worth the shock. Yep, they don't get the light. That's good. They would have if we attacked with other things, though. If we had swung with team, they put something else on the chorister on something else, and they do get the life. Oh, I see. Yeah, you just wanted shock. Well, I like the damage there. I think I see what I did not see the line you were talking about, and I wish I had seen the line, but I think now even seeing the line, I like what we did. All right. How about that, gang? What a week. I was feeling really bad about this format and how I was doing in it. We can get really caught up on results when you need to be thinking about your decisions and let the results come naturally. And we've maxed one all week long. Yeah, Buckeye. I figured it out late, but then, like I said, yeah, I wish I had seen the line because then I'd feel a little bit more clever. But I'm fine with the line that we took. One more biatch. Okay. Nice. All right. I'm gonna hop to Soapbox. Thank our YouTube friends for hanging out for that one. We will catch you next time. Should be the next video up after this one is gonna be my participation in the finals of a streamer showdown. I 2-1'd the first pod, which qualified me for the finals. I'm playing against quite a pod of players, including Raph Levy and Mike Sigrist. Gonna be tough to 3-0 that pod, but hey, we got the week for it, right? With the way things have been going, it seems like, you know, about 90% that we're just gonna 3-0 this pod, right? No problem, no problem. We'll claim this prize though, and I'll check packs. I don't think we're opening packs though, because I like. Oh, we are. We got some from something else. So we have a 10 to crack open. And now I'm going to say thanks to YouTube and goodbye.